Good morning. I'm Sarah Pearson in the News 2 Alert Center with your morning pulse. Happening at the state capitol today, Governor Pillen is set to sign a new legislation aimed at protecting the state's ballot measure process. LB 927 is designed to prevent foreign interference in ballot campaigns. It would prohibit foreign nationals from contributing to or participating in those efforts and establish penalties for violations. The measure is part of a larger election package, LB 1075, which includes several other updates to Nebraska's election laws. With the governor's signature, the new law will take effect immediately. News 2 will be bringing you the North Platte School Board Ward 3 Forum live on our News 2 app this Thursday, April 16th at 5:30 p.m. Hear directly from the candidates on issues impacting North Platte schools. Moderated by News 2's Tristan Widener. Download our app on Roku, Amazon Fire, Android TV, or Apple TV. This week marks 1 month since several wildfires ignited across Nebraska, scorching thousands of acres as flames burned for days. The University of Nebraska Extension has launched a comprehensive disaster response, which now includes UNMC's Behavioral Health Education Center of Nebraska as part of its mental health support team.
And so we have to take that into account too. So when we really think about that big picture, what we want to make sure is that we have behavioral health resources available so people can reach out at any time, at any point in their journey, and know that there's help available.
And in sports last night, the Husker baseball team took down in-state rival Creighton. After trailing 4-0, Nebraska scored 5 unanswered runs en route to a 5-4 win. Freshman Drew Grigo led the way with 3 RBIs and a home run. This was the first win at home for the Big Red against the Blue Jays since 2017. The Huskers improved to 28-9 overall. Next up, the Huskers will host number 12 ranked USC in a 3-game series starting on Friday.
Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning. Meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Wednesday morning. We've made it halfway through the week. Hey, you made it to tax day. Isn't that exciting? Probably not for most of us. It is tax day, April 15th here as we check things out here in our forecast here. We've got an environment where we could see pretty much scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms pretty much anywhere. We've had, just as of the time of this recording, after 7 o'clock in the morning, we've been watching just in the last half hour or so a number of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms popping up over central Nebraska. Now, our surface low is situated very close to, if not just northeast of Concordia, Kansas. Now, the main upper level low is still back here to the west around just west of Ogallala here. So what you're going to see, while you have this right in here with our winds, the surface winds, in the big picture, you're going to see a spin right here that's going to move across the state today. And that'll be interesting to watch some of those scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms as the day goes on. So you saw that spin move across here. I'll even back it up so you can see it one more time here. And near it, and especially ahead of it, we could see a few hit or miss showers and storms today. As the day goes on, maybe a little bit of an environment for some severe weather. There's going to be a lot of spin in the atmosphere, obviously. And there's some instability out there. So hail, wind, maybe an isolated tornado. I think that chance is mostly towards the eastern parts of Nebraska, though, for today. Those will then move on out during the evening hours, and the rest of our night looks pretty quiet after that with lighter winds, clear skies, and decent night temperature-wise, mostly in the 40s. But we are going to heat things up on your Thursday thanks to strong southerly winds. It's going to be breezy to windy out there. We're going to have a fire threat, an elevated fire threat with the warm, dry conditions, all ahead of an approaching cold front. And most of the forecast models are now lining up with a quicker approach and pass-through of this front, which basically means that the majority of any severe weather we'd see later in the day Friday is mostly going to be over far southeastern areas. The majority of us, we may not get much moisture at all. I think for most of us, it's going to be more about the colder temperatures and the wind more than anything. You see a little snow in northwest Nebraska, but some of the long-range models are really, really backing off on any of the moisture here. So let's go. We're going to skip ahead. We're going to show the long-range models here real quick here, at least just a little bit here. So let's look at the North American model. There's today's rain, thunder, shower chances. Dry tomorrow. Then again, looking at Thursday here, or Thursday night and Friday morning. So this is Friday morning at 7 a.m. almost. There we go, 7:30. There's the front passing through right now. It's already moved through central Nebraska. So it's a quick passage. And by later in the day, the best chance of severe weather is going to be over extreme southeast Nebraska It's going to be a big severe weather day for the Midwest, but I think it's mostly going to be east and southeast of our area. So a little snow on the backside of that, but notice most of us miss out on moisture. Look at the storms to our east there. Like I said, big severe weather day off to our east here, but we'll miss out on it. We miss out on the good moisture, unfortunately, but the good news is we miss out on the big time severe weather. So there you go. And that's as far, the North American model only goes through Saturday morning there. So I wanted to show you that real quick. Now we'll show you the European model. The other models are pretty similar. So we'll start with the European model here. This is a longer range model that goes out 10 plus days. I only have access through 10 days here on our weather graphics, but you can see, again, there's today's moisture, the hit or miss scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. It's probably the best chance of rain most of us see for at least a week. Again, then here's Friday morning. Cold front's already through the Tri-Cities by that point, or just passing through the Tri-Cities. So it's later in the day. Most of the thunderstorm activity off to our east and southeast. Severe weather, maybe an outbreak, we'll see. The backside, out west, a little snow, but notice most of us don't get much. Not much moisture right there. So then we're playing the waiting game. We don't get much until later next week. There's Wednesday night into Thursday, and then maybe into Friday as well. We'll see. It's a long ways out yet. I'll give you more of a general perspective. I'm not going to get into the murky details that far out over a week away yet here. So again, and then here's the GFS model. Again, there's today's moisture chances right there. Maybe some isolated severe weather. The bigger moisture and the bigger severe weather off to our east and southeast. Quiet tomorrow, just windy and warm. And then Friday, go back to Friday morning right there. And then the 9 a.m. There you go. There's the cold front passing through. Later in the day, severe weather mainly off to our southeast. A little snow and rain on the backside, but not much for us. So again, just like, so almost all of the models are in agreement now where most of us will likely not see moisture on Friday or Friday night. Very little anyway. It's dry Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. For the most part anyway. So you don't see much there. Maybe by Wednesday and then more so Thursday, Friday now, maybe we're starting to talk some moisture chances again at the latter portions of next week. So that was kind of your sneak peek already at the long range models here. Let's back up now. Let's go back to tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to look at the fire weather concerns. It's going to be warm, it's going to be dry, it's going to be breezy, if not windy out there. Most of us have a fire weather watch in place starting the middle of the day, right around either 11 a.m. or noon, and this is going to continue until actually later in the night, 8 p.m. Northeast Nebraska, but 10 p.m. Central Nebraska, even later than that out to the west here. So again, elevated fire threat due to the very warm, windy conditions out there and very dry conditions. All right, now we're going to back up a day. We're going to go back to today, severe weather-wise. The Storm Prediction Center, and I anticipated this happening yesterday at noon, and it didn't when they put out their afternoon update. They didn't really stretch this to the west, but their new update that came out after midnight last night, they did decide to go with the marginal risk of severe storms over eastern Nebraska, even a slight risk over towards the Missouri River around Omaha and Blair. There's a chance with their new update that comes out here at 8 o'clock. I wouldn't be surprised if this here maybe even extends a little farther west through more of the area. Maybe we get some isolated severe storms. Right now, the primary threats are hail and wind. Here's the hail threat right here. And then here's the wind threat here. Again, hail for most of us, maybe a little wind. Tornado threat, not overly high. But we'll watch eastern Nebraska. I would not be surprised. This is an environment where there's so much spin, and isolated tornado is not out of the question. All right, so we've talked about today. Now we're going to jump ahead now. So we're going back and forth here. Now we're going to jump ahead to Friday. And again, with the cold front coming through a lot quicker now, that threat is mostly confined to southeast Nebraska. And in fact, I would not be surprised to see this eventually stretched even, or pushed even farther southeast and more of our area cut out of this threat. I think the majority of us are probably not looking at severe weather on Friday. But this is part of a bigger, what could potentially be an outbreak on Friday, or at least a partial outbreak anyway here. So let's go back to today. This is today across the region again. Our little area getting a little severe weather, better chances, as we've been seeing a lot lately, the better chances to our east and southeast. It's been in the news. It was the first story in the Today Show just a little bit ago. It's been in the news nationally, a lot of severe weather. They're seeing the chances again today. Tomorrow, not as much of a threat. Way to our east, that's about it. Looking ahead to Friday, though, again, part of what could be a bigger severe weather day across the parts of the Central Plains into the upper Midwest, and we're just on the very edge of that. So this is more towards Davenport, Rapid City, Kansas City, down towards Wichita and north of Oklahoma City. That's the area where that bigger threat of severe weather could potentially be. So we're probably missing it out on it for the most part. All right, now we're going to back up again all the way to today here. Temperatures today topping out in the upper 60s, low to mid 70s, maybe a little warmer in far, far southeast Nebraska. We'll drop back to the 40s for lows tonight. So a little cooler, but still above average for this time of the year. Highs tomorrow. Temperatures are going to take off into the mid to upper 80s. The winds will be strong, that high fire threat out there. Looking at Thursday night and a Friday morning, here comes the cold front. Much chillier northwest, much warmer southeast. There's a chance that a lot of us won't actually see our actual low temperatures for Friday until Friday night. But those are your morning lows anyway. Friday afternoon, and in fact, some of you may see your high temperature early in the day on Friday before the cold front comes through. But we're looking at highs 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s again. Wide range of temperatures because of the cold front coming through. Now we're all behind the front Friday night into Saturday morning. It's going to be down into the 20s and 30s. It'll be a chilly night. The National Weather Service is talking about putting out a frost advisory and or freeze warning for the area. Even though the growing season it's kind of early for that, some people may have already started thinking about planting and growing things because it's been such a warm spring. And again, we've got some colder nights ahead. Friday night and again Saturday night. Saturday, well, we did get up into the 60s or 50s and 60s, but we may cool back down Saturday night, maybe another cold night out there. So again, looking at the week ahead, today is probably our best chance of rain. The chance is looking pretty slim Friday night, Saturday morning. Small chance of light rain or snow. I'm not banking on it. Again, you see those colder nights Friday night and Saturday night? We're going to heat it back up next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and most of next week's going to be pretty warm. I think temperatures may trend down towards the end of next week when those moisture chances make their return. And finally, as we look at the North Platte forecast here, again, a rain is going to be wrapping up this morning. We've kind of seen our best chance already now behind us. Small chance of rain Friday afternoon, maybe a little snow mixing in Friday night. I'm not banking on too much there. It's going to be chilly on Friday, blustery, cold nights Friday night and Saturday night. Now, Saturday afternoon gets up close to 60, though, but then we are heating up once again Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Most of next week warm. We'll cool back at the end of next week with that next potential moisture maker later on next week. We've talked about the long-range models already, so I'm not going to get into too many details, but I will wrap up with a look at the Climate Prediction Center's outlook, looking ahead to next Wednesday through the following Tuesday. So this is getting close to the end of April now. Right now, they still have us in that above-average category. This is kind of a nice little setup for potential for rain and thunderstorms. We'll see how it plays out. When you look at that kind of a weather pattern, you're looking at a jet stream that kind of looks like that right there. So that's kind of a nice little setup for shower, storm, severe weather for our area because that allows for Gulf moisture to come northward. But of course, lately, most of it has been to our east and to our southeast. But the Climate Prediction Center does have us in that above average category still here. So they're kind of banking on maybe some moisture later on next week. We'll see how it plays out here. And again, you look at the long range models here and there's not a lot in store. There's these two chances this week here, but then we're kind of waiting till the end of next week before we start to see maybe some better chances of moisture make their return to the area here. So we'll see how things play out in the long run. With that, I am all out of time, so I got to wrap things up for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I will be back with you on Thursday morning with all the latest. Take care, and God bless.